Hello, friends. Guys, I know there's no one in stream right now, but let me advertise this real quick. Advertise my face. Man, my hair is a mess, but it's okay. Someone join, please. Getting this out. Hey, 2 people have joined. Welcome to the stream. We're going to talk about Star Wars and anything else that you guys want to talk about. Hopefully not religion like last time. And also, guess what I finally finished last night? Shadows of the Empire. So I need to do a review for this. I haven't done it yet, but I really liked it. But the way I'm going to describe the book is this. There's one way to describe the book. It's a pile of gold with a smack dab of crap in the middle of it. That's how to describe this book. And if you read the book, you probably know what I'm talking about. So, man, Disney Twitter shows out in full force today. I know. They always are. That's why I love Twitter. Because EU haters are rampant on there, but they say some of the dumbest things. Like, someone was complaining, well, Luke is old. Why is he acting like he's in his prime? It's like, do you forget about Yoda? What was he doing in Attack of the Clones and Revenge of the Sith? Dude was going freaking nuts, and he's like 900, almost 900. What's up, Ethan? I hear lots of mixed opinions on the Shadows of the Empire. I'm curious to read it. I really liked it, but there's a big problem I have with it. I'm not really going to spoil it. If you watch Matt's review, you can probably figure it out. What's up, Cody? How are you? Am I supposed to say General Kenobi to that? Oh, well. But yeah, so tonight, I'm going to be starting a new book. This bad boy right here. I can't wait to read this. I read Shadows of the Empire because I wanted some Prince Xizor backstory, really the main story of Xizor, because I know he plays a role in these books. What's interesting is Shadows of the Empire didn't focus a whole lot on Boba Fett. I thought it would. I mean, he's literally on the back cover. I guess that's the back cover, it's not the front. But I mean, look at him right there. There's Boba Fett. It doesn't focus a lot on him. But he's in it. I mean, he's in it for like a few pages. He doesn't have any lines or anything. His ship's in it, but he doesn't have a huge role in this, which I kind of wish he did. What's up, Blue Pig? Dark greetings. I'm I'm over halfway through Honor Among Thieves. Pretty good so far. That's a really good book. Looks can be deceiving, apparently. But yeah, it was really good. I really enjoyed Shadows of the Empire. Too bad it really wasn't mentioned a whole lot in later books. I mean, Young Jedi Knights mentioned a little bit of it. Mara Jade by the Emperor's Hand mentioned it a lot. In fact, Shizor's hologram is in it. Just not a whole lot mentions it. That's a shame, too. You would think it would, but you said you wanted to read everything, right? Well, of course. It's EU. If it's EU, I want to read it. Who doesn't? Exactly, who doesn't? But yeah, Shadows of the Empire is also one of the few hardcovers I have, and I'm really glad to have this in hardcover because it's Shadows of the Empire. It's one of the more popular books in the EU. But I'd also say this would be definitely a good starting point, I feel like, for the EU, especially if you're a big Vader fan. This is actually one of the very few books I've had experience with Vader in because I've read most of the post Jedi. So it was really cool to actually read Vader rather than watching Vader. Well, Skywalkers and Lone Wolves in Volume 3. What are you talking about? Skywalkers and Lone Wolf. I mean, I know what a Skywalker is, but what are you talking about? I got Darksaber in hardcover. It was an amazing book, and it's great to have. Hey, speaking of the devil, I also have that book in a version of hardcover. It's one of those shorter hardcovers Bantam did. And Del Rey did it too, but here it is. It's weird because it's shorter than the others. And it's not SFBC. It's not an SFBC hardcover. It's Bantam. But for some reason, it's kind of shorter. It's kind of weird. If you can see that there. So, but it's still cool. I love Darksaber as well. I thought Darksaber was really good. Oh, it's on my Tales of Gas for Volume 3. Well, I can't pick it up. Well, I mean, I could, but it's not fan. You said that book is full of fan fiction, so I'm not going to get it. Or is that Volume 4? I don't remember. I'm going to see if he's uploaded. Because now I'm going to get the ones with all the rare hyperspace fiction in it. Tales from the Galaxy. Volume 4. Oh, Volume 3. It's on here. A book of short stories from fans. Here's the back cover. So I think Volume 3 is the one with one of 3 is 90. Okay. Then yeah, I'll definitely purchase it. Purchase a copy. Why is he charging so much? I'm not actually no. I guess that's not $16. That's not bad actually for a hardback. The original hardbacks are like $20-something for like the original books. Very interesting. He says that to keep Amazon off his back. I guess that's true. Tales from the Galaxy, because there's no Star Wars label or anything, but on those, and the back cover is hilarious. I'm definitely gonna. Is 1 and 2 up? I don't know. Because obviously I know Volume 4 is up. But since that's just fan fiction, I'm not going to get it. Sorry, Matt. but I will get volume 3 because that's mostly official. I just want all the hyperspace fiction and imprint. I want all that in print. It's at cost. What do you mean? Is it like to print the book? Because I think Heart of the Jedi was the same way. They were all self-published. So, oh yeah, did I tell you guys I have Heart of the Jedi? I probably have, but I'm gonna show it off again because I'm proud to have this book in my collection. Bam! I got me a copy. It was only like $10 too. Definitely not wasted. Too bad the story really wasn't that good, but I'm still glad to have it in my collection. It would be cool to put Heart of the Jedi, Tales of the Galaxy, and Supernatural Encounters. Yeah, I can't wait to get Super. See, I don't know if Bongiorno is actually going to publish. Is going to publish that like in a physical edition. Obviously, he's going to publish it on the site, but because I'm not gonna if it's not like I read published stuff. I don't like to read online stuff. I guess if it's online, it's still published, but I want physical editions. I'm sure one day he's gonna put stuff on there. I'm sure he's gonna put it on Amazon one day. I got Heart of the Jedi day before it was taken down. I'm glad I have a copy. Yeah, me too. I found about it. I found out about it early on. I was actually DM'd on Instagram about it. I was like, wait, what? Someone's telling me, did you get Heart of the Jedi? I'm like, no, that book is not in print. He's like, yes, it is. And I look on Amazon, sure enough, and I bought me a copy that day. Glad to have it. My copy is from May 5th. Joe Bongiorno is sending out physical copies as a donator perk. Well, how do you donate? He's never going to finish Super. He's been working on that for like, what, 8 years now? 6 years now? He's working on it forever. Is he just being lazy, having writer's block, or what's going on? Yeah, I did check Star Wars Timeline yesterday, StarWarsTimeline.net, because I haven't checked the site in a while. I'm actually gonna check it now. I love the site. The way the site looks is just really cool. The latest news. Yeah, he published something a few days ago. 7/31. So that's actually like he actually be putting a new update in a few days. On his side, there's an email, and he can send you the information. You get a copy. Okay. Do you have to like Cash App him? How do you like? How much would you don? Like, how much do you donate? I can donate whatever. Are the copies limited? Are there a limited amount of copies? Like, will he ever should get to a point where like, no, I'm not gonna give any more out? Hope not. He's taking a while because he has to keep on editing a 1,000+ page document he is done writing. Oh, interesting. It's that long? The book? I don't know. I don't know much about Supernatural Encounters. Which is a shame. I think it's $50 on Venmo. He's still accepting donations. I've not seen it. $50, really? That much? I don't get why he doesn't put it on Amazon. He says he has the rights to publish it. Yeah, I actually read on Wikipedia where Leland She's basically like, yeah, you can publish it if you want. In fact, he said that they would put it on the Star Wars website, like the actual website. They would advertise it. The book includes endnotes as well. I don't know how long the story itself is. He needs to put it on Amazon. I mean, if we can get Heart of the Jedi on there, the only thing he'd have to do, I would think, is edit the cover, which even then, not really. All you'd have to do is take the Star Wars label off of it. That or put it like a different label on it. I don't know. He does not have the rights. He has the right to put it on his personal site. I don't know. I think because technically Matt Wilkins doesn't have the rights to put a bunch of Star Wars short stories in a book and sell it, but he's doing it anyway. Now, if it was fan fiction, that's different. But a lot of the, his Tales of the Galaxy, a lot of that's just short stories, official short stories, or hyperspace fiction, or whatever. I don't know. $50 though, like, really? It'd be different if it was like a hardback trilogy. It's not though. It's a one book. That's probably going to be paperback. I don't know. I'll think about it. I mean, I can pay for it. I can afford that, but it's like, is it worth it? It's technically just fan fiction anyway, because it's it was originally supposed to be published, but it never was. So at this point, it is kind of like fan fiction, like Heart of the Jedi. Technically, it's. I mean, I don't know. I don't like to call it fan fiction, but it's kind of weird. It's in that gray area. Oh my goodness. Tales of the Galaxy Volume 1 to 3. Tales of the Galaxy Volume 3 is available on Amazon. In fact, I'll put a link in the chat. Volume 4 is on Amazon. It's just Volume 3. Well, Volume 4 has all the fan fiction in it. Volume 3 doesn't. I think it has a couple short stories that are fan fiction, but most of it is official. If I can find it. Oh, here it is. So I'm going to put the link in the chat here. Control C, please. Or Control A, Control C. Okay. That's the link. I hope it, whoops. I hope you can actually click on it, though. Only 3, 1 and 2 are not. Yep. Only 4 on Amazon. Where's my drink? Oh, it's over there. Thank you. You're very welcome. So, a lot of that stuff you'd never be able to get in print without that book, Tales of the Galaxy. So thank you, Matt. Can't wait to start getting back to reading paperbacks because I do not like reading hardbacks. I like hardbacks; they're a lot nicer. I feel like I just don't like reading them. I rather read a paperback. But this was still good. Matt is the EU Superman, of course. Of course he is. I want to rewatch Return of the Jedi after reading Shadows of the Empire. I think it deserves a rewatch. Can never rewatch that movie a million times. because my top three is A New Hope, Return of the Jedi, Revenge of the Sith. Those are my top three Star Wars movies. Empire is number 4. I love all the. I don't love all the movies, but even the Disney movies, I don't really mind that much. I know a lot of people hate them, and they have a lot of good points. I don't defend them, but I don't know. Now, The Rise of Skywalker, I absolutely hated. It's a horrible movie. Horrible movie. But and the plan, like Steve Perry explains that plan that they had to get Han back, and like the last page, and he made it make a lot more sense. It's like, well, the reason why Lando was in there was to allow the droids to get in there, and then Han and Chewie, and then they did that to try and bargain with Jabba, which they knew that would fail. So that's when Leia went in there dressed as Boushh with Chewbacca and that kind of stuff, which failed anyway. So it kind of made sense. It was basically just, well, if Jabba didn't do this, let's just do this, and then going from there. Rise of Skywalker is fun. I wouldn't say that. I think it's fun. I think it's so bad, like it ruins all the fun it may have had. I watched Tross about 3 times. Each time was a joke. I watched it in theaters. I was so excited for that movie, but I remember leaving the theater so disappointed. I was like, come on, really? Is that what you're going to do, JJ? And then I pirated the movie like a week later. I wanted to rewatch it. I was really trying to convince myself, yeah, this is a good movie. It was terrible. It's fun to roast. I mean, it's dumb. It's dumb. It's just a dumb movie. Like, it felt like a fan fiction. Like someone wrote a Star Wars fan fiction. That's what it looked. That's what it would be like. Oh, maybe the Empire has a bunch of Star Destroyers with lasers on them. I've seen some joke. I mean, I see why you're saying that, but that doesn't feel like that. I have the movie on DVD. I don't know why. I haven't watched it, but I have it anyway. One day I'll rewatch it though, just to laugh at it. I thought Rise of Skywalker was going to be some epic conclusion that would wrap everything up perfectly, especially with the criticism. Exactly, but it didn't. It did everything I knew. I mean, I predicted so many of the things that happened in that movie. I knew was going to happen. I knew that Rey would kill Palpatine. I didn't want that to happen, but I knew she would. So I knew Kylo would get redeemed, and I didn't want that to happen at all. Really wanted Kylo to stay dark side, but woulda, shoulda, coulda. I have the EU, so it really doesn't matter anyway. But it's such a dumb movie. The only big problem for me, exactly, that's probably the dumbest part of the movie. Oh, we have this dagger that somehow lines up with the wreckage of the Death Star. Stupid. Stupid. Unless the dagger was made after the Death Star was destroyed. But, like, no, it wasn't, because the new Marvel stuff, I mean, Ochi was using that dagger long before the Rise of Skywalker. So it's like, no. It's dumb. And even then, the new comics created this big flipping plot hole with the Rise of Skywalker. With the whole original trilogy, I should say. Because See, in the new Marvel comics, Vader went to Exegol and he saw the fleet. The fleet was around during the original trilogy. So it's like, okay, you have this Death Star with these freaking Death Star. No, you have these Star Destroyers with Death Star lasers. What's the point of the Death Star then? If you have a whole freaking fleet of Death Stars, essentially, what's the point then? And why didn't you use it at Battle of Yavin? Why didn't you use it at Endor? What's the point of building this big space station? You would think that they had to build those big space stations because at the time the technology couldn't. It had to be that big in order to contain that technology. But then you think, okay, 30 years later, they've improved it so much, then that, yeah, it could be small enough to be fit out the other side of a Star Destroyer. But no, that's not what happened. It's just... it's stupid. Charles Soule, think before you write, man. I remember hearing Palpatine in the trailer, and I tried to convince myself it was not, since I would be done. I remember, I was like, I didn't have a problem Palpatine coming back at the time. Now I do, but... Starkiller Base, I don't think it doesn't... I mean, it makes sense to me, I guess. I don't have a problem with Starkiller Base. I just had a problem with those damn discs. I don't have a problem with the Star Destroyers, really. Yeah, it's a dumb, kiddie idea, but, like, I just have a problem with them existing at the time of the original trilogy, because it's like, it makes the whole point of a Death Star pointless. It's like, why have a big old Death Star, then? What's the point of that if you can just take that technology, put it on a Star Destroyer? I remember when I saw the trailer, checked YouTube on my phone, got goosebumps when I heard Palpatine. That's my only positive memory of middle school. But I don't know, I just thought, like, when that came out, it was in the new Vader comics that came out a couple years ago. Vader went to I don't know, if maybe a year ago, I don't remember, but Vader went to Exegol and he saw all these Star Destroyers. It's like, what the hell? Maybe the Death Star was a fluke. Cheapens trying to die. Once it cheapens it, I just creates a plot hole with it. Like a big old plot hole. That's why I don't like the new canon. I mean, that kind of crap right there. It's like, if it exists, then why aren't you using it? Why are you building these big Death Stars then? What's the point of wasting all that money when you have a whole fleet of Death Stars that can go a lot faster? And they're cheaper. No, they had the cannons. They did. You can see the cannons. They were operational. Because the Sun Crusher didn't exist during the original trilogy. It was being built during the original trilogy, yeah. And the technology hadn't been made yet. The fleet was lost. No one knew about the fleet. It was discovered. It was rediscovered during the Thrawn trilogy, but it wasn't known during the original trilogy. That's the difference. In fact, it was kind of forgotten about, too. Plus, the Empire had a big-ass fleet. It didn't need those ships. The Sun Crusher was not being used because it went through tons of redesigns and management. Exactly. It wasn't built. It wasn't even built yet. Like, by the Jedi Academy trilogy, it was just finished. It was just finished. And it was finally operational. I mean, it wasn't around in the original trilogy. Let me get my mug real quick. Hey, what about that guy? Again, it was built after the originals. I think it was. It's been a while since Red Dark Empire. Galaxy Gun. Galaxy Gun. It was built 10 ABY. So that's like 6 years after Return of the Jedi. So again, wasn't around yet. Quizux is constantly complaining about how in your report she had to file only for them to be ignored and delay the project. Exactly. It's consistently delayed, and again, a lot of the technology just wasn't perfected yet. Wasn't around yet. Why'd your mom have to be so good? I don't know. Y'all thought.
Okay. I don't care.
I don't care. When people tell me that my opinion sucks, I don't care. New canon, garbage, poop, bad. Dave Filoni, poop, bad. Dave Filoni sucks. Terrible, terrible, terrible writer. Oh yeah, Blue Pig. I caused some trouble in your Discord last night. Not bad. Oh yeah, I gave you guys a new emote. I don't know. I think that screenshot I got from Matt Wilkins' Hard Contact review, his original Hard Contact review. So there's the origins. Uh, but Lance didn't. No, he didn't. His name is Dave Felony. That's his name. Lance got any other potential emojis? Perhaps I do. Perhaps I don't. Maybe I do. Maybe I don't. I don't know. Just go through your Matt Wilkins videos. You can find a lot. He'll make funny faces and all that other stuff. I found that one by chance. I'm like, I'm screenshotting this and I'm gonna crop it and send it to someone. It's pretty cool what Matt Wilkins put that Alliance of Free Planets declaration. Pretty cool. Pretty cool. I'm gonna post it on Instagram. Well, I'm gonna try at least. Not gonna work. Anyway, I'm always surprised how much people worship Filoni, even though most of the Mando stuff's not even created by him in the Clone Wars. So you see, what I hate is people will say, they should bring Legends back, but only keep Mando and Rogue One and all this stuff. It's like none of that stuff fits. Let's think. Mando contradicted Boba Fett's backstory, or I meant his survival. It contradicted. What else did it contradict? Mandalore. What's up with Mandalore? Like, why is Mandalore not in shambles by that point? And all this other stuff. Rogue One contradicts the Dark Forces, I believe. because they don't care about the exactly. Keep Rebels canon that contradicts the Force Unleashed. So don't or keep Rebels part of the EU. It's like that's not how that works. Tython, yeah, Tython looks completely different. Like Seeing Stone, where was that in the EU? There was no Seeing Stone. If it was, why wasn't it used? That doesn't matter if it's better or not. They can't fit together because they contradict the Ordinance of the Rebellion.
Okay.
Don't worry, the EU was never canon. It was there, just couldn't see it. What are you talking about? The EU was never canon. Says every no low life ever. EU was never canon. It was never considered canon. Yeah. Give me a quote where someone at Lucasfilm said that. I'll wait. The weird thing is, Rebels was originally meant to be in the EU before the recent 2014 happened. We dodged the bullet. Really? It was supposed to be EU? I know that. I am Lucasfilm. I wouldn't be surprised if an EU hater actually said that. I work for Lucasfilm. Yeah, it was never canon. I would not be surprised if they said that. I've never heard that, but I would. That's something they would definitely say. I work for Lucasfilm. I know more than you. Sure you do. I guess you have Pablo Hidalgo. He says that kind of stuff. Does that count? Think Lance think it counted 2014. Doesn't mean it was originally going to be EU. Because they had that plan. I mean, they had that plan out. I mean, they were thinking about that long before that news came out. So I know, but again, they probably knew that. They probably knew that it was going to be decanonized. My dad works for Lucasfilm. That's funny. Possibly started imported by. I doubt that. I doubt it. Sorry, I just do. Because why would the reason why they started making Rebels is because they canceled the Clone Wars. So that's the whole point of doing that. Well, trying to think what I could talk about. What is everybody's thoughts on this book? What's everybody's thoughts on that if you've read it? I know Matt Wilkins hates it more than anything. I don't know. I've never read it. Only Old Republic thing I've read that I've actually read regarding novels. I've read some other stuff, but Revan. It's only Old Republic I've read. I really like this book. I thought it was really good. I don't know. I really enjoyed this book. I hate the Legends label, but beyond that, I thought this book was really good. So, also, I'm Deceived. I need to read this soon. I want to read this soon because I've heard it's really good. Plus, it's kind of a spin-off of the short or the what the hell's the name of it? the trailer that they did, the cinematic trailer, it's kind of a spin-off of that. And it also kind of has a 3D. I don't know if you can't really see that, but there's a 3D finish to this book, and I really like that. Like maybe you can kind of see the outline of Malgus. You can see that it's kind of 3D there. It's cool. Or at least we can have my timeline, or at least in my collection. My dad knows George, not how much he hates the EU. I'm curious about the Knight Errant comics. I love Revan as well. I love episode, what's it, Jedi J. Deceived is a very good standalone story. I've heard it's really good. Really, who wrote that? Paulus Kemp. I want to read Deceived because he's a very interesting Sith. He's kind of a Vader ripoff, but that's okay. Dash Rendar is a Han Solo ripoff. My British came out there. Dash Rendar. He's a Han Solo ripoff. But he's Han Solo ripoff, but he's still a good character. I enjoyed him at least. I didn't have a problem with him. Also, look at my shirt. Look at that. How appropriate. I have this book. Shatterpoint. But I'm gonna start with the comics, with the Clone Wars. I'm starting off with the comics, and then I'll move to the novels. But there's a very interesting piece of this book. Look who wrote that. So you saying George hates the EU? Apparently not. Malgus has enough unique about him to keep him interesting compared to the average Sith. That sure goes hard. Did not like Shatterpoint. I started off with hallucinations. Okay. You didn't like Shatterpoint? You and Matt are very similar. I don't know. I haven't really read much of the Clone Wars. I only have 5 books in it. I know there's like 20 something books in that, I think. Let me look at timeline here. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15. 16 if you count Revenge of the Sith. 17 if you count Attack of the Clones. 18 if you count the Clone Wars novelization. Huh. So about almost 20, yeah. I was pretty close. Also, I wonder if this has that short story that... Oh, okay. Yeah, it does. Is the audiobook for Kenobi, they've removed the incognito short story that I believe John Jackson Miller wrote. Yeah, John Jackson Miller. And replaced it with a High Republic excerpt. Good job, Del Rey. Pissing off the fans even more. Now, this is the Legends reprint, and it does have the short story in it. So that's good. I don't know, not the audiobook. Did I say audiobook? I meant to say the online book, like the Kindle version. And they removed that short story, replaced it with a higher... Now, I don't mind the higher... I've read a little bit of the High Republic. It's actually not bad. It's just pretty shitty that you're taking a new canon excerpt from a new canon book and throwing it in a Legends book. That's fucking stupid. I think another book was like that. A Legends book. It had like a excerpt. I'm trying to think of what book it was. And it was. I had the book. I'm trying to think what that could have been. Oh, I think it was Kenobi actually. Yeah, this has an excerpt from A New Dawn in it. The Kenobi book. But it kept the short story, so it's really not that big a deal, but it's pretty crappy if you're going to remove a short story and replace it with your new canon book. So stupid, bro. Frick Lucasfilm for that, bro. That was such a dumb idea. No Prisoners, an interesting Clone Wars book, even if it is about the Clone Wars, I would consider it essential for children. It's not really essential, but it does. I want to say it's essential. I haven't read it, but from what I know of it, I've read Children of the Jedi, but I've written Clone Wars. I didn't think it was a good book. It was an okay book, but I understood it. They had the Essential Legends reprint of Kenobi. I'm not sure it has the Incognito short story in it. I have to double check later. I think that's a little different though, since those are like special reprints. I mean, it should have the short story, but like, I guess I wouldn't be that bummed out if it didn't have it. I have a physical copy, so I don't have any Essential Legends books. I just don't. I don't need them. I have Shadowhunter. I had the original copy, so I don't need the reprint. Now, if I had a new short story in it, there you go. Maybe I'd get it. Brand new fiction. But that's not going to happen. I think this has an expert to Lockdown in it. Oh, Saboteur. Essential Legends is better than nothing, and it is pretty cool. I think it could be better though. The covers are nice, but we're not asking for new cover art. We're asking for new books. That's what we're asking for. I think I meant No Prisoners for Children That I Tell makes sense. The mess Barbara Hambly created. I wouldn't say it's a mess. I don't know. I didn't mind the book personally, but It's not like I loved it or anything. It was okay. Darksaber is really good. Planet of Twilight. I don't remember anything from that book. Well, like a little bit of it, like the Leia and the Hutt thing. That was cool. I'm a Beldoran defender. I have no problem with the Jedi Hutt. I mean, what's wrong with Jedi or with Hutts being force sensitive? What's wrong with that? And if a little green goblin looking thing can flip around and do all this kind of cool stuff with his lightsaber, why can't a Hutt? That green goblin looking thing is Yoda, by the way. Dave Filoni is my dad. Same. God. I hope he's not. I hope he wasn't my dad. I'm glad he's not my dad. That'd be a horrible life. I've never heard anyone different Planet of Twilight. There's parts of it I like, but it's boring, to be honest with you. Look who's here. Chris Nelson is here. What's up, Chris? How are you? I did a little earlier stream today. Also, I finished a certain book. I finished this yesterday. Thought it was pretty good. And then I'm starting Bounty Hunter Wars tonight. So, can't wait. Well, I think I'm going to watch Return of the Jedi again. And then I don't know what I'll do. I'll figure it out. I feel like when I read the closest trilogy, I'm going to be in the minority. I was like that with iJedi. I hate iJedi. Me and Matt are the same way. Oh, you guys are still here. And we had the EU God himself among us. Indeed. We'll reach that standard EU gods, but we'll be EU gods at one point. Also, I ordered the first volume of the those Clone Wars volumes that Dark Horse put out for the Republic comics. I think it's called Defense of Camino and Other Tales. I bought that yesterday. I think it was a couple days ago. It was like $10. So I was like, hell yeah, $10 trade paperback that's out of print. So I bought that. It's coming in the mail soon. In the next few days, it'll be here. I'm really trying to collect more comics as I see them, because I don't have a huge comic. I mean, all I have in comics, I have this right here. I don't have any of the other issues, and then I have all these trades right here. Well, this is not really a trade. I have the Dark and Fire collection, and then I have these trades right here. Probably can't even read them. Yeah. So I'm actually reading this one right now. It's pretty good. I read this the other day. It was good. I'm reading Crimson Empire 2 next, after Mara Jade. So I'm eating good right now. I wish I had more comics though, but collecting comics are hard because they're just a lot, or at least EU comics, not comics in general, but they can just get really pricey. And I try to get the trade paperbacks. I like the Epic collections. They're really good. They're good quality. I just don't like the Legends banner. I just don't like it at all. That's why most of my books don't have it. This has it. This has it. Kenobi has it. Revan has it. But most of my books don't have it. So, no, all comics across the board, really. Walking Dead comics. I have the Walking Dead comics. I'm a huge Walking Dead fan, so I've read all those comics, but I feel those are pricey. If you go to Amazon, you can get the Epic collections for The Walking Dead for like $20-some, and they're like $80 in stores. $60, I think, actually. But I went to Amazon, bought them, read the whole series. It took me like 2 weeks to read the whole series. It was great. Maybe not even that. I find with the Legends banner, I just wish there was a way to buy books without the banner. There is on Amazon. You have to really make sure what you're reading, because on Amazon there's like a mass market paperback and then there's just like a regular paperback. Buy the regular paperback, because sometimes it has the Legends banner, sometimes it doesn't. Mass market paperback always will have the Legends banner. The normal paperback depends. But if you don't want a Legends banner, go to a used bookstore. You'll find tons of EU books without the Legends banner. That's why most of mine don't have it, because I go to a used bookstore and I make sure it doesn't have it. I like it. I think it looks nice. What are you talking about? I just wish they lined up right, because they are different heights. What are we talking about? Epic collections? Are they not all the same height? That's stupid. 90% of my books so are mine. Used bookstores are the best for your EU collecting. For novel collecting. Comic collecting, man, you almost have to go 100% online for that. Oh, the Legends banner. That's stupid. CS, thanks for another reason to not staying away from those epic collections. Bookstores are just nice in general. Yeah, I love going to the bookstore. A lot of nice people in there. Epic collections are the same height, but the little bars on them which aren't, which is annoying. It's actually interesting because the epic collections are the same height as the trade paperbacks. The old Dark Horse paperbacks, trade paperbacks, they're actually the same height. If I can show you. Here's my Crimson Empire epic Crimson Empire trade and the Marvel epic collection is practically the same height there. So that's really cool that they did that. Though I guess with comics, I guess all across the board, trade paperbacks, would they be the same height? Here, let me get my Walking Dead. A Walking Dead trade. No. Walking Dead, or the Star Wars, no, it's not. Star Wars is slightly taller. Maybe I'm holding it wrong. I guess no, they're about the same height, yeah. And this is Image Comics. This isn't Dark Horse or Marvel. I love Image Comics. Image Comics is pretty good. But after Walking Dead ended, I don't know how they're staying around. There are two directions for e-comics: collecting pricey or being broke. Piracy or being broke. I hate pirating though. I just hate it. Like I pirated all of Tales of the Jedi. I hate that I did that. But I just love that series. I pirated Open Seasons, Jedi Academy Leviathan, which is funny because I now have those in print. Pirated a lot. Legacy, pirating that right now. I just hate pirating. It's not for me. I rather plus I want the books in print anyway. So I guess Chris Nelson left. Dang. We bored him out, guys. We bored him out. Nah, I'm just kidding. He probably just popped in and said hi. Left. He has a busy life. Makes sense. Man, I got school coming up. Next Wednesday, or this upcoming Wednesday. I have school. Fuck. Sorry, I don't swear. Frick. I don't like to swear. But I got school coming up, guys. I don't want to go to school. I don't like pirating because the websites probably give you I've never found that, but they do give you a lot of no website ads. But yeah, other than that, yeah, they do. There is a lot of viruses, or there can be viruses. Yeah, I've never experienced it though. Ethan, yes, that's why I don't pirate. So we're talking about EU promos. Chris will be back. EU promos. Do I have any? I don't have any. My favorite EU promo is I don't know. Shadows of the Empire posters. Those are pretty cool. And also like physical stuff. Yeah, I do too. I don't read books. Like I don't read books online. But like I would have never read Heart of the Jedi if it wasn't published, or if it wasn't printed, I should say. Glad to go back to school. They're saying 2 weeks to go back. I like my websites. Moi. Who else has read Walking Dead here? Who else has read this comic? Who's excited for the TV show to come back on? I am. I mean, I still defend the TV show. I love the TV show still. I don't give a frick what you guys say. The TV show is still good. Was it as good as it used to be? No, but I still like the TV show. I still enjoy it. Let me get the final issue for the series because I do have it for The Walking Dead. If I can find it. Here it is. It's actually interesting because this is not an original printing, which I hate myself for not having, but it's a second printing. When this first came out, I remember when it was advertised. It was advertised as The End. Or no. It was advertised as The Farmhouse. That was the actual name of the comic, but they changed it in the second printing to The End. Because it's the end of the series. Try and get the issue out here. Because I did collect the single issues. I tried to stay up to date with it. Now this is a single issue, and look how thick that sucker is. This is just a single issue. I remember when this first came out, man. It was pretty sad. Because it was like a shock that the series was ending. Because what's funny is they actually in fact I'm going to show you some of these covers here. They had released the covers of these as if like these are more issues of the series, but it wasn't. Those were fake. Like this one was meant to show that Carl died. That's how he died. This was, I believe that's Sophia and Andrea. I guess it was supposed to be that. He says they actually write, or Kirkman writes, as a gag. They kind of tell the story of Carl dying. That's not really anything that was intended to happen. I just thought it would be a fun thing to explore on the covers in a way that wouldn't reveal anything. It was very difficult to do covers that didn't telegraph Rick's death or the time. I just spoiled it, didn't I? Or the time jump for this final issue. But this was a good. I really liked how this series ended. Personally, I really, really enjoyed it. I didn't mind it at all. And it's interesting because there was a theory that came out years ago, called the Old Man Carl theory. And that kind of came true. So in a way, it came true. Not exactly as the theory portrayed it, but it sort of came true. But I remember that. I mean, that is. Let me show you the trade paperback for Open Seasons, because they're actually very similar in terms of the thickness of each issue. I mean, it's basically the same. You guys can see that. This is Open Seasons, the trade paperback. This is The Walking Dead final issue. Look how thick those things are. They're almost the same thickness. Thick. But yeah. Then this is a second printing. This is not. It's not a first printing. But I don't care. I'm glad this will still be rare one day. Even if it's not going to be as expensive as the original, but it'll still be rare one day. But yes, that's probably where as big as I ever went in terms of like collecting comics was The Walking Dead. I collected the crap out of those comics for a brief time. I kind of stopped, just kind of got over it, Just didn't want to collect it no more, but yeah. Great series. I love The Walking Dead. Okay. TV show out mostly sucks. I don't agree. Because something what The Walking Dead is about, besides zombies, it's basically about it's about Rick Grimes. Rick Grimes is a sheriff who he gets shot, and it puts him into a coma. And when he wakes up, there's a zombie apocalypse. And the first few issues of the series and the first episode or so of the show, he's looking for his family. He eventually finds it. He finds this group of people, and it's basically them going from place to place trying to survive. Then they meet new people along the way. People die. They meet new people, and that cycle kind of continues. So, but the series is not about a cure for the zombie apocalypse. It's not about anything like that. It's about trying to survive. It has nothing to do with a cure. Of course, it's mentioned once or twice, but it has nothing to do with it. In fact, the comics, there's no cure. In the show, there's not going to be a cure. Blue Pig is about the survivors in the zombie apocalypse coming across different groups. It's not survivors. Is no. Well, yeah, basically. Just kind of goes how little they really get into. You really get in modern comic books for so much money too. Yeah, I mean The Walking Dead, each issue was like $4 for an issue. So really showed you how well those comics were really popular as well. I mean, they got adapted into a TV show for goodness sake. You know, it's a popular series. They should have years ago. AMC got very greedy, kept lowering the budget, extending out episodes. What? What are you talking about? How did they get greedy? How are they lowering the budget? They're extending the amount of episodes, yeah, because it's the last season. So it's going to be a lot longer. And it should be. Then I don't think they're lowering the budget. The production value of the show is still fine. Can you tell the budget gets lower? No, not really. You can say the story has gotten less in quality, but in terms of like the actual look of the show, I don't know if they've lowered the budget or not. And if they did and the show still looks good, okay, then I don't really have a problem. And if the show is still good, story-wise, then who cares if the budget gets lower? Good for them. I don't know. I just don't understand a lot of the hate that the show gets. Oh, I stopped watching when Glenn dies. Okay, then why are you still hating on the show? You know? And Glenn only died because Robert Kirkman wanted him to die. It was in the comic. That doesn't mean it should have happened, though. You can't blame the show for that, though. The show is adapting the comic book. It's the whole point. It's not the show's fault that happened. They're just following the comic book. Blame Robert Kirkman, the creator and the writer for the whole series. If there's anyone you should be blaming, it's him. They fired Frank Darabont. I think he left. I don't think they fired him after first for no reason, and they replaced him with someone who was incompetent. Scott Gimple's not perfect, but guess what? He was the showrunner and writer for seasons 3 and 4 and 5. Those are some of the best seasons in the whole show. He was the guy running that show. So I don't think they fired Darabont. I'm pretty sure he left. Let me look that up, though. Frank Darabont, American film director and producer. He's been nominated. He also developed and executive produced Walking Dead. Darabont was fired. Okay, he was fired from the position of showrunner. This report states he was able to adjust the schedule of running a television series. However, it was later confirmed that he was fired due to AMC's desire to reduce the show's budget, twice as many episodes with 20% less of a budget. And this strained relationship with the executives of AMC, Darabont, and his agents from the creative. I mean, honestly, though, if they wanted to, I don't see how that's a bad thing. If they want to put more of the show out, bigger seasons, longer seasons, with a smaller budget, yet the seasons are way better quality-wise. What's the problem? It benefits them, AMC, the company, and it also benefits us because we get a longer, better show. Because remember, seasons 3, 4, 5, those are probably some of the best seasons the show ever had. People were mad about Glenn Seth because he was a much more beloved character than in the comics. Stephen Yeun brought so much love. He did, but he was beloved in the comics as well. But that's how The Walking Dead works. Characters die. Your favorite characters will die. That's how the show works. And they've always said that since the beginning of the show. People were like, they were like, okay. The whole point of they've always said that we're going to make you love these characters and we're going to kill them off. That's how it works. Plus, I would be more pissed off if all our favorite characters just get to live just because they're our favorite. That's not realistic. Killing Moff doesn't end the show the same way. Doesn't translate that well. Translates better. Frank Darabont said the show was like his baby. AMC screwed him over in every way possible. If he was still around, the show would have been much better and would have already been better. I think it's been better without him. I don't know. According to AMC, he couldn't adjust to the schedule of rental. Well, no, that's initial reports. Hey, but Darabont did sue AMC, and AMC is now paying their royalties. So I don't know. I'm not like a big defender of AMC or anything. Killing off characters in the problem. How was the execution bad? How was the writing bad? It was the same way as the comics. That's not AMC's fault. That's Robert Kirkman's fault. Robert Kirkman is still involved in the show. Like, very much involved. It was the execution and the writing the show had was the exact same way as the comics. You compare that scene, Negan's first appearance in issue 100, compared to season 7's or season 6 finale, season 7's premiere. It's basically the same. And you know why AMC did that? Because that scene is very popular. People were ecstatic to see that scene for the first time. Now, if we were talking about Carl's death and people saw it, because I'll agree with that. Carl's death was complete bullshit. That's the only death I've ever had a problem with. Watch YMS. I don't know who that is. Review the first 2 seasons. I don't watch people's reviews and make my own opinion. I mean, I have watched people's reviews of different things, but they killed many characters when they started to get interested, like Beth, for example, when they kept doing it over and over. That's the point of the show. I mean, if you don't like that, that's not AMC's problem. That's not a thing that they're doing. That's just you. That's just not the type of stories you're into. Because the show has always been like that. Guess what? Morales was interesting when we first met him, and we didn't see him for another 8 seasons. Beth was cool. Got killed off. Who else did we like? Merle was getting cool. He gets killed off. That's how the show works. Killed off Carl just because the actor wanted. According to who? I've never heard that. I'll look that up. Chandler Riggs. Walking Dead. I don't know. It just says, in a drastic departure from the comic books material, his character was controversially killed off midway through the Series 8 season. It looked like they just wanted to do something different. Which, again, I don't like his death at all. I've never liked it. Kirkman himself wants to describe the show as a forever running show that works in comics but doesn't translate well on screen. That's why some people thought it should have ended after season 5. It's a TV show, though. TV shows have multiple seasons. And when he meant forever, obviously the comic wasn't forever running. It ended. So, 193 issues. And I can name a million TV shows that have tons of seasons. For example, Family Guy. I know it's Family Guy, probably not the best example, but that show is like 20-something seasons. Friends had a bunch of seasons, 11 seasons. And of course, my memory's failing me. Friends, 2.5 Men. I know those are all sitcoms, but it can translate well to screen. If I can think of any dramas, Grey's Anatomy had a bunch of seasons. That's just one example. There's others though. I'm gonna look up examples of shows with a bunch of seasons. Game of Thrones had 6 seasons. That's not a whole lot. The Clone Wars. That's a good one. They have 7 seasons. Yeah, but shows could just it has been coherent. What hasn't been coherent? Simpsons has like 30 seasons. I don't know, Cody. I don't understand a lot of your criticisms. I don't know. I'm just generally okay with characters dying. Like, even if I love the character, I'm okay with them dying. Like Luke Skywalker, for example. If I were ever to write Sword of the Jedi, if they asked me, hey, Lance, write Sword of the Jedi, I'm going to kill Luke off. I'm going to kill him off. Why? Because I want to give him an end to a story. I want the story to move past that. $33, I think. I guess it's not that fair to compare it to cartoon sitcoms or sitcoms in general, but like Grey's Anatomy has a bunch of seasons. And that's a drama, just like The Walking Dead is. The worst the show has done was poorly adapting the All Out War story arc. This just not for way too long. You know, I'm not going to say I disagree. First of all, I don't remember. It's been a couple years since I read the comics, so I don't really remember the All Out War story from the comics that much. But I will tell you, season 8 is my least favorite season. Season 7, I like season 7, but it was long too. Well, remember, before they actually went to war, there was a period, there was like a Cold War period where Negan was going to these different communities and stealing from them and all this different stuff. I don't know. I didn't really mind. I liked season 7, like I've always said. But season 7 was also there to so we can meet the kingdom and meet Ezekiel and things like that. But it wasn't almost 3 seasons. It was just 2. Which is pretty consistent with the comics because it was like 30. I know there was 2 trade. There was an All Out War Part 1 and Part 2. Then there was like a trade paperback. So 3 trade paperbacks showing Gosh, I don't know, because I have the compendiums. I don't have all the trades, so I don't really remember. Yeah, but they added Oceanside and Garbage People. They didn't need to be added. It only sucked up more time. I don't have a problem with that. I don't think it sucked up time at all. They played essential roles in the story. It gave our heroes the ability to win. And now the Garbage People are having a huge role now with not really the Garbage People, but Jadis. She now has a huge role in with Rick and stuff. So I don't think it's a waste of time at all. Thought it made sense. Plus, the Garbage People gave more reason to fight the Saviors. Not that that needed to happen, but I don't think it sucked up more time at all. It's not like they were there just to be there. They actually had a role in the story, like a big role. If they weren't in it, then same with Oceanside. If they weren't in it, it would have changed everything. Because Saviors took all their guns. They needed guns, and Oceanside was the best place. They needed soldiers. Garbage People were that. And the Garbage People, yeah, they betrayed them, but it allowed for that epic scene with Ezekiel to happen at the season 7 finale. One of the best finales the show's ever had. I remember when season 8 first came out, like, I was bored with it. I only really watched it for the first time in its entirety, like, last year. So I will give you that. Season 8 was... it was boring. But I'd have to really read the All Out War story arc to compare it to the comics. Because I don't really remember anything from it. All I remember is they went to war and Negan lost. I guess that's all that really mattered anyway. But now in the show, you can't really be like that because Carl died. So you need to watch that to know what happened to him. And then, of course, it had all that controversy with, well, Negan, should he live or die? And it kind of created all that internal conflict with Maggie and Rick, which I thought was great. And I will say with season 11, the first 8 episodes, so bad. I did not like it at all. Like the Reapers, such a bad. It's like they took the Whisperers and the Claimers and made like one group out of that. That's what it felt like to me. I just did not like the Reapers. They were pretty bad. Pretty bad. And Leah, like, I just don't like that character. She's just a bad character to me. So I bet it's going to end with Judith. Probably, because that's kind of similar to how the comics ended. That or the show, it'll either end something like that. I say it's similar because in the comic, it fast forward into the future with Carl and his girl, his child. So it'll probably talk a little about something like that. It'll end something like that as well. Instead of Carl, it would be Judith. I haven't seen season 11, but I heard the first part. Yeah, it was pretty bad. Now the second part, because there's 3 parts. They added another, like, the season is like, it's 24 episodes instead of 16. So there's, instead of 1 mid-season finale, there's 2 mid-season finales. And they're ending, God, I'm losing my train of thought. The first 8, bad. The second 8, better. It was a lot better because it was focused more on the Commonwealth, but it still really wasn't that. It really wasn't. It wasn't like, I don't know. I liked it, but it's like, okay. I don't know. The Commonwealth, I think, they're portraying the Commonwealth thing in the comics was so short. It was like a couple of trades. It was not that long at all, but the show is really dragging it out. Maybe not, actually. The more I'm thinking about it, maybe not, because it's only one season of Commonwealth stuff. With most of that, with a percentage of that season focusing on the Reapers, not the Commonwealth. So I don't know. But the show's probably going to end either with Judith, like 30 some years in the future, focusing on Judith, or it's going to lead into the Rick Grimes show. That's what I'm thinking. I'll seem like they gave Lance a bigger role. Yeah, they did, which I actually like. I think he's a good villain. I like him as a villain. He in the show he was just one of the guys that worked at the Commonwealth, but in the show he's definitely has more of a villainous role, which is fine. I'm cool with that. Rick has to come back somewhat. Yeah. It's actually interesting because back when they just, like a few months ago, they just finished filming the final episode. Of course, they're editing it all now, but they finished the final episode, and when they were filming it, Andrew Lincoln was in Atlanta. I mean, there was a picture that was online of Andrew and Norman in Atlanta. So either that, it was just maybe he's just visiting set. Who knows? Because Chandler Riggs was at set the final day of filming. He was there. But while they were filming the last episode, Andrew Lincoln was in Atlanta. So, which is where they filmed the show. So either he's just visiting or he's making a cameo at the end. My whole theory that I've always had ever since the Civic Republic was introduced, that's a whole other community. That's kind of like the Commonwealth. Was that the Civic Republic and the Commonwealth would go to war. That's kind of been my whole theory. But we'll have to see. So I feel like the show is going to transition into the Rick show. Well, actually, it's going to transition to a couple other shows because Daryl's going to have his own show and Negan and Maggie will have their own show. So I think it's going to show Daryl going his separate way, Rick and Negan and Maggie going their way. I don't know. We'll have to see. It'll either show Rick coming back Commonwealth or it'll show him older in the future. I feel like it'll be him coming back to the Commonwealth. They can't really show him older. I mean, I guess it could, but remember, we get that Rick Grimes show that's going to come out. So who knows what they're going to do. But my theory is I feel like what's going to happen is he's going to, maybe he's on the run. Let's say he makes it back and he makes it to the Commonwealth. Maybe he finds out, my people are that, Alexander's at the Commonwealth. So they're probably going to be like, he's probably going to be like, Civic Republic's coming. I don't know. That's always been my theory. I don't know. It looks like all these new shows are trying to build up to a final war with the CRM. Yeah, somehow. They're going to have a final war with the CRM. Which I'm all guns ready for that. Rick Grimes is, he's one of my favorite characters in all of fiction, so I just can't wait for that. I can't wait. He's one of my heroes, so kind of like how I view Luke, I view Rick in a very similar way. So I can't wait to see that, to see him come back and be a leader. Really miss Rick, but I don't blame Andrew for linking. I don't blame him for leaving. I understand why he left, but they've only been hinting at the CRM a little bit in Fear and show them World Beyond, but now it looks like they're going to delve deeper into the group. Yeah, I still haven't seen World Beyond. I need to watch that show. I've heard good things about it, sort of. But the whole point of that show was so we could get kind of an idea of the CRM and what it looks like and what they're all about. But I was like, yeah, delve deeper. So I think what's going to happen though is I don't know because the Commonwealth may know about them. We really don't know. They could be isolated for all we know. Because the CRM, I mean, there is other communities over there as well. From what I think there are, not like big communities like the Commonwealth, but well, no, there is because the CRM is a part of like a trinity of communities. So who knows? But I'm excited though. I can't wait to see what's gonna happen. Oh my god! I heard World Beyond got good towards season 2. Yeah, I've heard it was pretty good. Season 2. Fear's been filled with demons. I can't say I disagree, man. I don't understand the point of fear. I don't. I don't like fear. It was good the first couple of seasons. Um but once they started killing off the main characters like Nick, why would you kill him off? Like what's the point of that? Nick and Madison should have been the ones to live at least. Like I get if they're going to kill off family members like Clark or Alicia or Nick's stepbrother. I don't remember his name, but Fear seemed like it found its footing in season 3 with the Force Morgan on after that. Yeah, I don't like. That's the only reason why people watch it because Morgan's in it, and Dwight was put in it as well. Only reason why people watch it. Nick's actor wanted to leave the show. Oh, I didn't know that. They could have just had him walk off to the sunset and made it open for him to return soon. Yeah, kind of like how they did with Rick and Michonne. I think they did the same thing with Alicia, right? I heard she got killed off or something like that. Or her fate is unknown. Who knows? I don't know. I don't like Fear. It was pretty good the first couple of seasons, up until season 3. After season 3, it's when the show went downhill. Madison actually returned to. Yeah, I knew she came back, and Alicia left too. They made her. See, that's the only reason why they brought Madison back. Because hey, if we didn't have any Clarks on this show, what's the freaking point? I don't know. I don't like Fear. It's pretty bad. Season 6, it was half decent actually, but it got really bad again in season 7. That show. I always forget. Like, there's 7 seasons now? Jesus. Does not deserve 7 seasons. Well, I think I'll go ahead and end stream. I've been streaming for an hour and a half now, so I think I'm gonna go ahead and go. So y'all have a really good day. Thank y'all for joining. Of course, I'm very appreciative, Cody. If I sounded angry or mad at you, I'm not. I'm just passionate about all this. So, still love you. Still love all y'all. Y'all are great. So y'all have a great, great, great day.